Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
We've learned new details tonight about a student authorities say went on a deadly shooting rampage at his high school in Washington State.
The brother of Tony Sullivan, the man a Lexington police officer shot and killed 20 years ago, is talking with us the night before the anniversary.
Remembering a Pulaski County woman and a message for others to try to prevent another death from happening.
WKYT News at 11 starts now. We begin tonight with a breaking news alert out of Boyle County. An investigation is underway into a shooting in Danville.
It happened in the last hour. Danville police have confirmed they are on the scene of a shooting on Roy Arnold Drive, that is off of South 4th Street, but police have not said how many people were shot or the extent of the injuries. We'll gather more details overnight and have the very latest on WKYT.com and also on WKYT News this morning. He was an athlete and just last week named a homecoming prince, but authorities say that 14-year-old went on a shooting rampage at his high school.
That shooting happened today at a school in Marysville, Washington, just outside of Seattle. Police say the gunman killed one student and injured 4 others before turning the gun on himself. Omar Villafranca has the latest in our top story at 11.
Students streamed out of Marysville Pilchuck High School Friday morning, hands raised in the air after a teenage gunman opened fire inside.
I heard the guns and I turned around and he's just pulling it and shooting everyone, and there's blood everywhere and some got on other girls' faces and stuff.
One student was killed inside the school, 4 others hurt before the gunman took his own life. The shooter is identified as 14-year-old Jalen Freiberg, a freshman who was recently named homecoming prince. His social media pages include photos of him hunting and posing with a rifle. Police won't confirm the kind of weapon used in the school shooting, but say it was legally acquired. Freiberg is also pictured in Native American clothing. The chairman of the local Tulalip tribe confirmed some members were involved.
We're deeply saddened by this whole tragedy and why it would happen in our community. We can always say that we watch it on TV, but here it comes, walking in our door.
4 students were taken to nearby hospitals, all with gunshot wounds to the head. Their injuries so severe, it took hours to identify them.
It'll take a long time for our community to heal from this.
The school will remain closed all next week as students and the community mourn. Omar Villafranca, CBS News.
At this point, police have not determined a motive for that shooting.
They say they still feel the loss 20 years later. Tonight, the family of a young Lexington man killed in a police-involved shooting paid tribute to him. In October of 1994, 18-year-old Tony Sullivan was shot to death by a Lexington police sergeant. Investigators called it an accident, and a grand jury's decision not to indict the sergeant sparked violent unrest. New at 11 tonight, WKYT's Kristen Kennedy shows us how Sullivan's family is remembering him.
Friday night's stories.
He'll run through the whole neighborhood with a fur coat on, some flip-flops, and some shorts.
And jokes.
Are you mad because my hair is longer than yours?
Stirred up emotions still raw for Tony Sullivan's brother, Jeremiah.
But it's been so long since then, but it's still like fresh. Basically, it's still fresh to us.
Saturday marks 20 years since a Lexington police sergeant shot and killed Tony Sullivan. That sergeant told investigators the shooting was accidental. Sullivan was 18 years old.
Regardless of the reasons,
Yes.
they snatched potential from a good person.
These kids now, they have to understand that these things aren't easy to deal with.
Weren't easy back then either. When a grand jury chose not to indict the Lexington sergeant who shot Sullivan, angry mobs stormed downtown Lexington. In the 20 years since, Jeremiah has had time to reflect.
We thank you for having our brother, Tony Sullivan, Father God, in your archangel's arms, Father God.
To make sure the youngest in his family who never knew his brother know what legacy he leaves behind. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
The Sullivans say they have gathered together to remember Tony every year on or near that anniversary for the last 20 years.
Today would have been her 35th birthday, but last week, police say a Pulaski County woman was killed by her boyfriend. He's now charged with murder. Tonight, friends of Monica Wells gathered to remember her life. WKYT's Garrett Weimer has the story.
They brought balloons, celebrating a birthday that never came.
Today she would have been turning 35. We can't throw her a birthday party and have her attend it with us, but we can celebrate the 34 years she was here with us.
Circling Fountain Square, it was a somber service as friends and family wrote their messages to Monica and sent them up to heaven. Friends say tonight's service wasn't just for Monica. They say it's for anyone who finds themselves in an abusive relationship. The message on their t-shirts and their hearts: love shouldn't hurt.
Because love shouldn't hurt, it shouldn't kill, and somebody's got to start standing up for that.
Though their friend with the warm laugh and contagious smile is gone, they say there's still hope for others everywhere.
Not only are we looking for justice for Monica, but we're trying to give hope to other women who are in this situation before it's too late.
In Pulaski County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Beautiful tribute there. A fund has been set up to help pay for Wells' funeral. You can donate at Southern Oaks Funeral Home in Somerset.
A grand jury has indicted 2 Knox County deputy jailers accused of beating an inmate. Chief Deputy Sheila Brown and Deputy Jennifer Ross have both been charged with criminal abuse, assault, and official misconduct. Investigators say inmate Tammy Spicer had to be taken to the hospital after the assault. Investigators say she was injured while confined and physically helpless.